All right, folks, let's do another unboxing video today. So today we have a package from Cannaflower. Cannaflower, who I didn't know until just now, is located in Battleboro, Vermont. Excuse me, Brattleboro. Brattleboro. Tara and I, my wife, have been joking for the last year or so that we want to start a petition and get the town of Brattleboro to change its name because I think it would be more cool if it was Battleboro. Probably not going to actually do it, but it's fun to think about. So, Cannaflower. I was first introduced to Cannaflower in Boston. Actually, we were in Boston for the weekend, and we were on Newberry Street, and I was having a little bit of anxiety being out in public. Very busy street. I don't know where I am. I've never been there before. A little uncomfortable, and I really wanted to smoke. I really wanted to smoke, but I also didn't really gonna want to get really high. But I needed to smoke like a whole joint. Just I know me. So I knew what I needed. I needed some hemp flower, and I wandered in a little shop. I wish I could remember the name of this head shop because they were so friendly. Uh, I may look that up and talk about them in another video. But they were so friendly. A little head shop there on Newberry Street. And that's not going to be super helpful because I went in at least three head shops on Newberry Street because I like going to head shops. I love shopping. But I went in one and asked if they had some hemp flower, and they did indeed. And they actually had a package of pre rolls. Uh, Pre rolls. I also bought some flour later. Cannaflower frosted lime strain. And so I bought a little 5 pack of pre rolls. Exactly what I was looking for. Solved all my problems. And it was good. So I was interested in Cannaflower, and I thought they have a uh, a sampler package as well. Let's check out their sampler package. Now, Cannaflower actually uh, have stepped their game up a little bit in a certain sense, branding wise. Now, I think you and I both know that's going to translate into the price. They're not just doing this for free. So I do appreciate, in my previous vendor, there were no frills, or at least not a whole lot of frills. But a can of flour comes, the box just looks standard until you open it. It is branded, and then they have some marketing stuff inside. Living soil, craft cannabis, lab tested, of course. And another thing they do, and I don't know why, but I'm a sucker for this. King Palm does it as well. The tissue paper that things are packed in is branded tissue paper. I like to save that and use it uh, Christmas, birthdays, when I'm packing things. I will use these branded tissue because it's fun. It's got little marijuana leaves on it. It adds a little bit of levity to the present, depending on who you're giving it to, of course. So my sampler pack from Cannaflower comes in a Mylar bag, ziplocked for freshness, I'm sure. And let's see what we have. I'm just going to dump this in front of me, and then we'll pull it all out as we go. So again, you get a little. I don't want to call this marketing because it's not. And this I dig. So this is again. I'm not sure how much I paid for my sampler pack. They have several different sizes for the number of strains that you're going to get, but this one came with a uh, $20 off, and I am going to edit that out, by the way. I just realized that I put my code in the video. We will air that, or we will edit that out on the thing, but a $20 off coupon for my next purchase. That is very much appreciated. We got a sticker, and you know how I love stickers. We got a Cannaflower sticker, kind of shiny. I already know where that's going. Uh, And we have a branded pack of rolling papers. Now this makes my little heart so very, very happy. I won't go into it, but maybe in a later video we will talk about the whys and wherefores for my rolling paper collection. But I have a collection which currently consists of, this will be the 182nd. I have a spreadsheet to keep track because I can't remember. 182 unique packages of rolling papers. Got to be fair. That's not just unique brands. I mean, with Raw, there's probably 20 different Raw rolling papers that I have, different sizes, different packing, different papers and such. But I just love, I just love having another pack of rolling papers. And let's look at one. They sent us some rolling paper. It would appear to be, it's hard to say in this light. It is incredibly thin, which right away impresses me. Thinner rolling paper, the better, because you're smoking less paper. And the more paper you're smoking, the less flour you're tasting. So, I mean, look at this. You can see, I just dropped it, but you could literally read through that. Where'd it go? I don't want to lose it. I ain't gonna dig for it. It's rolling paper. Uh, we'll pick it up later. Let's do that again. So you can see this is without the paper and with. That is thin. That is thin, thin, thin. Uh, it's got a little feel to it though. Super thin rolling papers can be very, very difficult to roll. Super thin rolling papers can be very difficult to roll. This still has a little bit of tactile, which can be helpful when you're trying to roll. Very. I don't think it's bleached. I don't think it's a bleached paper. I think it might be rice. It's hard. Again, it's kind of hard to tell sometimes what it's made out of. But I feel like this might be a rice paper. I'm going to burn one. Very little ash. Very little ash. That almost completely vaporized. I think the only thing that's left there was some residue from the gum. So that's a good rolling paper. And a lot of these novelty or vanity, as I like to call them, branded rolling papers are cheap. and garbage, frankly. Like, I mean, they're great to have, but I wouldn't smoke it. I wouldn't smoke it because it's not good paper, and it's gonna really it's well, it can make your flower burn wrong. Uh, it can be an unpleasant burn with a lot of canoeing, uh, but it's harsh. It alters the taste, it alters the flavor, and I don't want to smoke that. I don't want that in my lungs. Smoking is bad enough as it is. So this is good. I'm impressed with the quality of the paper. That's a big plus. And then we have I got a six strain sampler, and we have four loose nugs. There's no listed weight on here, so let's weigh it. The first one we have is called Lifter, which they're calling a sativa strain, meaning we should expect it to be a little more uplifting. Uh, that may not be true. They include, and I like this because sativa indica is not as meaningful as a lot of people think it is, especially when you consider nothing today is really pure. It's a hybrid. Everything's a hybrid. Uh, but they include tasting notes, and tasting notes can oftentimes give you hints about the terpenes that are going to be in it and some of the effects that you might expect. The very first one here is lemon peel. Lemon peel, that tells me it's going to have a lot of limonene, which means, yes, it is going to have much more of the head effect. If you think about some of the quote sativas that give you a lot of good heady stuff, a lot of them are citrusy. A lot of them have a nice little citrus tang to it, and and that's why it's that limonene. But we also have a little bit of earth and a little bit of clove. Clove taste, like black pepper taste, is going to be very indicative of that what we were calling the caraphyllene. I may not be pronouncing that right, by the way. When you read things and you don't necessarily hear them say all the time, you make up your own pronunciations, and that's okay. But caraphyllene does have some of that, maybe not sedative effect, but calming, anti anxiety effect that we're looking for. So I'm going to go ahead and open this one just so we can get a weight. I'm not going to open all of them, but let's see. A couple of nugs. One big nug, one little nug. Now this one's just like 1.14 grams, but again, they didn't say that they were going to give you a lot. They just said they were going to give you some. So we can expect to be about a gram each, and a gram is plenty. I want to say this was $25 to $30 that I paid. Uh, it's testers, and remember, we got a coupon for 20 bucks off. So when we actually order some flour, so Lifter, probably a good name based on the terpene profile there. Now, one thing we can do is let's weigh this in the package now. My package weight looks to be about 4 grams. So let's call the well package with flour in it. So let's call that 3 grams of packaging. So the next one, cherry wine. Ooh, might have a little more flour. Of course, it could be a slightly different package as well. So we're not gonna worry about that. This one is cherry wine, another CBD rich cannabis sativa, according to them. Stone fruit, pine, and berry. They're calling this a good bedside companion. Pine, pinene. I can see that. I don't know stone fruit. Uh, but I'm going to guess that that's going to have a little limonene in it. but if it's got pinene, that's going to bring that down a little bit. It's definitely they have a rating. I've always said with cannabis, it's not the name. It's cannabis, sativa, indica. Not going to tell you what you want to know. How's it going to make you feel? And on this one, they didn't do this on this package of the lifter. They gave you the tasting notes. Oh, it was on the back on this one. So this one actually comes up as energizing. How's it going to make you feel? And you can see right here, energizing. This one is more on the calming side. Cherry wine. It sounds delicious. I don't know why I'm smelling a bag. We got some OG Kush, Diesel, Sweetgrass, and Cinnamon. Probably going to taste like OG Kush if you've ever had OG Kush with THC. So this has just been bred with some other things to have the same flavor and appeal, and probably therefore the same terpenes as OG Kush, but with more CBD, less THC. And this is on the calming side. And final for actual nugs, we have some sour space candy. And that sour space candy, very popular among a lot of the high CBD providers. It is also a little more energizing, not quite as much as the lifter. Again, according to their rating system here. But we were supposed to have 6 strains. Well, that's because they gave us two, one, what I'm going to say appears to be anyway, 1 gram pre rolls. Frosted lime, which I am familiar with. Frosted lime, which I am very familiar with and a big fan of. And then the Bubba Kush. And I have had Bubba Kush in THC flower many, many times. Big fan as well. Let's check out that pre-roll. Now look at the paper again that the cone is made of. You can see clear through that. It is very little overlap on the seam as well. So you're not getting a lot of paper. You're getting a lot of flour. And yeah, that looks maybe a little bit shy of a gram, but that's a good healthy pre-roll. It is not overpacked. Uh, in Colorado, a lot of the dispensaries, your pre-rolls are way overpacked, and if you don't massage them before you smoke them, you're going to get a lot of canoeing, a lot of bad burn. So I like that this one doesn't feel overpacked. Side note, by the way, let's talk about this for a second. Uh, and I can't speak for anyone from Colorado, but I would suspect that you're going to see a lot of this in California. I would suspect a lot of this in Nevada, probably most other states that have a healthy, shall we say, not healthy, capitalistic, recreational THC market. A lot of the less respectable dispensaries are going to sell you pre rolls that's made from flour that has been dekeefed. They take it, they grind it up in a device like a lot of you have a home grinder where the key falls through the screen. They're doing that. So your pre-roll, most of the key, a lot of the trichomes are gone. And it's great for smoking, but you're not going to get as much effect. And then they're going to turn around and use that keef in other products or sell that keef in some cases. So keep that in mind. when you're buying pre-rolls at some of those dispensaries, the price may be really good, but it may be really, really good for a reason. And that's okay if you know what you're getting, but you don't always know that. So know what to expect. Native roots, by the way. And my info is a couple years old because I have moved to Vermont. Native roots, I was always pleased with. They did not sell you dekeefed weed in their pre-rolls. That may have changed, but I can say up to when I left, their pre-rolls were very, very legit. And I used a lot of them because on Mondays, they were 2 for 1. And it was actually on Mondays, pre-rolls were one of the cheapest ways that you could buy. And as much as I smoke, I am all about saving a little money where you can. So that was our sample box once again from Cannaflower. I did not realize just how local these folks were to me. Cannaflower, a Vermont based provider. So the quality of their flower does not surprise me at all. Lived in Vermont now for about 2 years. When we moved here, weed was legal, but there was no recreational market as of yet. They had made uh, weed legal, but they hadn't outlined any of the rules or regulations or how the recreational market was going to work. So there really weren't any dispensaries. You could grow. If you had weed, you could smoke it. You couldn't really legally buy or sell it at the time. And I did grow my own. As soon as we moved here, I had a place to finally grow, and I started growing my own. Love growing. But I mean, I'm not going to lie to you folks. There was a little bit of black market going on at the time for me because obviously I needed some. But what I have found since the rec market opened up not quite a year ago is a very different experience from Colorado in that, at least as of yet, there aren't any large commercial providers. There's not a lot of factory farms. And what I'm seeing in the dispensaries that I go visit, look at, and try out, and I'm trying to hit many of them just because I love doing it. Uh, it's much more of a craft market here in the way that the craft beer is very big in New England, and there's small breweries all over the place. A lot of brew pub type things, and most of the beer that you will get in a lot of restaurants here is in fact local craft brew. And the craft movement is all about quality. It's all about people who really are striving to make something better than a mass market product. And that's what I'm finding mostly in the recreational cannabis market is craft weeds, small grows. I have yet to buy even some of the budget weed that I have bought has been fire. I've yet to buy any. Uh, I've yet to be offered any weed that I didn't think was top shelf. In Colorado, boy, let me tell you, there's a range. There's some good. You can find really, really good flour, but you can also find some garbage flour, which sometimes it's going to be cheaper, and that's okay if that's what you're looking for at the time. Nothing necessarily against it. Yeah. But I like having the option of the really good stuff. And here, that's mostly all I'm seeing. I have bought. I want to say the cheapest was a $70 quarter mostly you're looking at 40 and $50 eighths. Unfortunately, everything here is prepackaged, so it's mostly eighths, and therefore you're not really going to find yet anyway any sort of bulk discounts. And I say that I haven't been to all the dispensaries, of course, but what I have experienced, mostly eighths, rarely some prepackaged quarters. And I've never seen anything bigger than a quarter. Yeah, you can buy two eighths, but you're not going to get any discount. On a positive note, I have noticed in Vermont there is no plastic packaging. There's no plastic. That's my biggest gripe in Colorado was all the plastic that was honestly impossible in most cases to recycle. There's a few dispensaries using hemp plastic, which is recyclable and or compostable, but mostly no. It's non-recyclable black plastic, uh, plastic bags, just far too much plastic, non-recyclable. Going to be here forever plastics. Here, a lot of glass and a lot of paper, especially if you can find a 35 $40 out, 35 or $40 eighth, it's probably going to come in paper, paper Ziploc. Uh, and then your 40 to $50, especially the $50 stuff, is going to come in a glass jar, like this one. So this is an example of. Actually, let's just go ahead and talk about them a little bit. Pinnacle Valley Farms, small batch, Vermont grown. One of the better growers that I have found here, and just really, I wish I had a better camera so you could get a better look at this bud. But even with this camera, you can see the colors in that. Just beautiful. And oh, it smells good. This is their, it's a cross, I believe, of Bubba Kush and Girl Scout cookies called Bubba Cookies. So, really excellent craft market here. And that's a good thing. So, thank you. That was our second unboxing. Once again, let's give a big shout out to Cannaflower. And if you're looking to buy some flour from Cannaflower, you can see down there cannaflower.com. Check them out. Highly recommended. I have smoked their hemp flour on multiple occasions and been very happy with it. So go check them out. You can find them online. You can order online. It is federally legal to ship this anywhere in the country. So no worries. It does, however, you want to be assured, it does, however, come in a discreet package. So nobody's going to know what you're up to if you have any interest in keeping things on the down low. Well, thank you very much, and we will see you when we make our next video, which is hopefully very soon. And of course, that's all going to be edited down a little bit later.